Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Nick Push. I need to vent a little bit tonight. I told myself I was done making Halloween Ends videos for the foreseeable future, but I was bored a little earlier today and was just, kind of doing some Googling and reading some things that are being written about Halloween Ends. And I came across this article that is basically David Gordon Green defending some of the decisions of the movie. And he said something that really pissed me off. And I just needed to make a video and get some shit off my chest. Now, before I get into the article, and I'm going to pull it up in a second, a couple of things here. Number one, as I've stated before, I enjoyed Halloween Ends. I liked what I saw on camera, and I think it's a good standalone horror film. Is it the way that I think they should have went for the last movie of a trilogy? And for Halloween ending this version of these characters for the foreseeable future? No, absolutely not. But I appreciate Halloween Ends for what they did. I've been a defender of it. But what I read from David Gordon Green really pissed me off. And I'm going to get into it here. I'm going to pull up the article. Now, before I start reading it, I will say this article is a couple months old. I'm sure you guys have read it, or a lot of you have read it. I had not, because I just, after the movie and after making a few videos, I just kind of took a break from Halloween Ends. But I started reading, like I said earlier, and it kind of pissed me off. So I'm reading, this is from Yahoo Entertainment. Not really exactly sure where they picked it up from. But I'm going to read some of this. I'm going to get into some of the comments that David Gordon Green made that don't sit well with me. So let's read it here. So it says, and this is by John Kapeloff. It says Universal Pictures, David Gordon Green. Okay, that's just a picture above us. But let's get into it here. The director of Halloween Ends is defending his decision to go in a different direction. David Gordon Green, who directed this year's third film in the most recent Jamie Lee Curtis starring Halloween trilogy, as well as its 2018 and 2021 predecessors, was recently asked by moviemaker.com how he responds to negative feedback for the movie. And he says, "It's funny when someone says, build your dream house on this real estate using this title and these characters. Everybody is going to find a different little thing that's meaningful for them, and they'll make it their own. That's what I did," said Green 47. I'm fine with that, right? Nothing wrong with that. That is the correct line of thinking there, for the most part. Let's continue. Halloween Ends, which was released in theaters and simultaneously on Peacock October 14th, so we're 2 months past it now, currently holds a 39% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and an audience score of 57%, and has been met with criticism by many fans for its unique direction. The slasher has made more than $82 million at the global box office to date, according to Box Office Mojo. Okay, all that is true too. Now, I take these scores with a grain of salt. I take every score like this with a grain of salt. But so far, I'm not pissed off. But we're getting there. Then it continues. For every bit of backlash, you also get people that are thanking you for taking it to a new place and keeping it alive and full of love, Green told moviemaker.com. Once again, he is 100% correct. For everyone that is, wanting to jump off a cliff about this movie, there are people that are defending the shit out of the direction. Me, as you guys know, I'm in the middle. As I stated earlier, I like Halloween Ends. I just don't like where it was and what it did to end this trilogy. But like I said, I enjoy the character of Corey Cunningham. I know a lot of you do not. Let's continue, because now we're going to get to the fun part. Here is this it yet? Not yet. Halloween Ends follows 2018's Halloween, the direct sequel to John Carpenter's 1978 horror classic, which we know, and 2021's Halloween Kills. In the final film of the threequel, murderous maniac Michael Myers makes his way back to suburban Haddonfield, Illinois, once more to cause havoc in the town after he disappeared without a trace. Let's skip ahead here. Final girl, Laurie Strode, musters up the courage to go face to face, face to mask, blah, blah, blah. And then Green gets into this. We had to decide how we want to wrap up these characters, Green told moviemaker.com. How do we want to make it not just a nice, neat bow on the franchise? Here we fucking go, guys. This is what kind of grinds my gears, as they say. He goes, honestly, we never once considered making a Laurie and Michael movie, he added with a laugh. The concept that it should be a final showdown type brawl never even crossed our minds. I think that's a fucking lie. Look at this again. I don't care about the end part, this final type brawl showdown, but let's look at this again. Honestly, we never once considered making a Laurie and Michael movie, he added with a laugh. Really? You didn't fucking consider that? So, everything you were setting up in Halloween Kills, you just never once considered paying those storylines off? Michael killing Karen at the end of that? You weren't going to pay that off with a Laurie versus Michael fight? Or a Laurie versus Michael movie, I guess? Okay. All the other shit that was set up in Halloween Kills. And don't get me wrong, I got a lot of issues with Halloween Kills. Dialogue, pacing, script in general, etc. But they set up all these things. And then as we fucking know, the pandemic happened. And then they pivoted. It was supposed to be on the same night. And they pivoted. Whether it was David Gordon Green's decision, whether it was Jamie Lee Curtis's decision, they made a conscious decision when they had extra time because of the pandemic. We already knew that. That was in Empire a year before, this movie came out. More than that. So what the fuck are you talking about? You never once considered making a Laurie and Michael movie. So what else was going to happen that night? Obviously, it wouldn't have been the Corey stuff. I guess the reason this pisses me off is because it just feels like a lie to defend your decision that people don't like. Own it. Say, hey, look, the pandemic happened and we started taking some extra time and thinking about the direction we can take this trilogy. We talked back and forth. We talked about, having Michael and Laurie. That was our original intention. And then we decided that, hey, no, we wanted to explore these themes in Halloween Ends. We decided that's a better way to take it. Fucking own it. Don't make up lies to own it. Use the truth to own it. I don't like that. And I think the Blumhouse trilogy, the David Gordon Green trilogy, is very well made. There are a lot of creative decisions I don't agree with. But we're going to get that with anything, guys. But have some goddamn common decency to tell us the fucking truth. Now, I know I'm going to get comments. I know it, guys. I know it. I know I'm going to get comments saying, oh, how do you know? How do you know that they were always going to have a Michael versus Laurie showdown? I don't know for a fact, but I can kind of read the tea leaves. You've been watching movies long enough. You understand different storytelling. It makes sense. Okay? Did I want a Michael vs. Laurie movie again when we had 12 more? Probably not. Okay? Probably not. Maybe that's why I'm a little higher on ends than most. Okay? But they clearly, and he admitted this earlier, changed their minds. Like I said, I don't know if it was Jamie Lee Curtis's decision. I suspect it was, to go this other route. And that's fine, but own it. Be truthful to us fans. You know people are fucking all over breaking everything down. Haven't you learned that by now? Your trailers have been leaked. You kept things close to the vest and then you realized, oh shit, we better tell people about this Corey stuff. So you released the synopsis kind of with the trailer for Halloween Ends, which was probably smart because it prepared people like me, people like you, for what we were going to get. But have the common decency to tell us the truth. I don't like that at all. And I'm a guy, like I said, that is higher than most people on ends. I don't love it, but I genuinely like it. Not for where it is in the franchise, not for how it ended things, but the overall story and the character of Corey Cunningham, and how the town needed another monster to after Michael disappeared. I enjoyed that, really do. But I don't enjoy seeing the director basically lying to us fans. It pisses me off. I'm sure it pisses a lot of you off too. So that's kind of what I wanted to say tonight, guys. I just need to get that off my chest. Like I said, I know in the comments I'm going to get railed for, crying about this shit on camera again. I don't care. I legitimately don't care, guys. My fucking YouTube channel. Okay? I appreciate everyone who watches. I appreciate every comment I get, every interaction. I don't care if people don't like what I say sometimes. It's just me. It just is. I'm going to tell you guys what I think when I read something like this. And I don't like reading something like that because it's almost like you're disrespecting the fans. You don't have to do what the fans say. A lot of times, us fans are not the greatest at making decisions, whether it is creative decisions, whether it is marketing decisions, things like that. Sometimes Halloween fans are what's made this franchise worse, but we're also what's made this franchise sustain longevity and everyone sustain a fucking paycheck. So at least have the common decency to tell us the truth. That's all I gotta say about this shit, guys. So I appreciate you guys watching my rant. I really do. I'll cry on camera sometimes if I want. I'll bitch about things if I want. So if you came here to watch me cry, as I've gotten comments in the past, I don't care. I just don't. But that being said, it is what it is at this point. I can sit here and cry about, what David Gordon Green is saying, or what, Danny McBride is joking about, or what Blumhouse does with the Halloween trilogy. End of the day, nobody gives a fuck what I think. But that's okay. That is okay. I love this franchise. I know a lot of you guys, and probably everyone watching this, you love this franchise too. So it's cool to talk about. David Gordon Green, I railed on you there for a little bit, but I do appreciate what you've done for this franchise. Even if some people don't, I do. I really do. I think it's a well-made trilogy. Even if I don't agree with your creative decisions, even if I don't agree with your comment right here, I appreciate you kind of giving us more Halloween. So thank you. And that's it, guys. Rant over.